If you're already insured and thinking about switching your health insurance, you're probably asking yourself one question. Will I lose the cover I've built up over the years? The good news is that in many cases, the answer is no. One of the biggest misconceptions I come across is that switching insurers means starting all over again. It doesn't. If the timing is right and your medical circumstances are suitable, it's often possible to transfer to a new insurer, whilst maintaining what's known as continuity of cover, allowing your existing underwriting terms to move with you. But here's the important part. No two switches are ever the same. After helping hundreds of individuals, families and businesses review their private health insurance, I've learned that every recommendation should be based on the person's individual circumstances. Some people can move immediately. Some people are better waiting a few months. Some are better remaining exactly where they are. And occasionally, starting a completely new policy under moratorium underwriting is actually the better long-term solution. That's why switching your health insurance should never be based on price alone. The first thing a good independent broker should assess is whether it's the right time to switch. Many people think insurers only want to know whether they've claimed on their private health insurance. That's not actually the case. What insurers are really assessing is your recent medical history and whether anything has happened that may increase the future risk they're taking on. That includes both NHS and private treatment. It could be consultant appointments, diagnostic investigations such as MRI or CT scans, blood tests, new diagnoses, referrals, hospital admissions, consultant-prescribed medication, planned surgery, or any treatment that's still ongoing or pending. In other words, it doesn't matter whether the NHS paid for it or your current insurer did. If it's relevant to your medical history, it's relevant to the underwriting assessment. For many insurers, anything recent, anything planned, or anything still under investigation will usually be referred to an underwriter for an individual decision. In many cases, those conditions may be excluded from future cover. However, underwriting isn't always black and white. Some medical conditions may be accepted depending on the circumstances, how long ago they occurred, and the insurer's underwriting philosophy. For example, a straightforward cataract operation completed more than 6 months ago, with no ongoing treatment or complications, may be accepted by some insurers without any ongoing restriction. That's why understanding how different insurers assess medical history is so important. Another area that people rarely realise is that some insurers will also look at your claims history. This isn't simply to see whether you've made a claim. They're often assessing how your policy has been used over the years and whether your no-claims discount has been affected. Some insurers become more cautious where there has been a higher number of claims, while others assess each application differently. Again, that's something a good broker should understand before recommending a switch. One of the greatest pleasures I get in this job is speaking to couples who've been loyal to the same insurer for decades. I've spoken to clients who have been with Bupa for over 30 years. Like many long-term policyholders, they were reluctant to even consider moving because they believed they'd lose all the protection they'd built up over the years. Over time, they'd accepted annual premium increases. Their outpatient cover had gradually reduced to just £500 a year. Their excess had increased to £1,000. Yet despite having significantly less cover than when they first joined, they were paying well over £10,000 a year in premiums. We were able to recommend another insurer that restored a far better level of cover, reduced their excess and significantly lowered their premium. And because their medical circumstances were suitable, their underwriting transferred successfully without introducing new exclusions. Sometimes switching isn't about saving money. Sometimes it's about getting your cover back. Equally, there are times when the right advice is not to switch. For example, if someone has developed an important heart condition and maintaining comprehensive cover for that condition is their main priority, staying with their current insurer may be the best recommendation. A good broker shouldn't recommend moving simply because another insurer is cheaper. Sometimes protecting existing cover is far more valuable. On the other hand, some clients take a completely different view. They may decide that accepting an exclusion for one existing condition allows them to restore comprehensive cover for everything else, reduce their premiums significantly, and enjoy much stronger protection for any new medical conditions that arise in the future. If they ever need treatment for that existing condition, they may choose to self-fund privately or continue receiving treatment through the NHS, while benefiting from improved private cover for everything else. There isn't a right or wrong answer. It's about understanding the advantages and disadvantages of each option and choosing the one that best fits your priorities. Sometimes transferring your existing underwriting isn't even the best solution. Starting a new policy under Moratorium, underwriting can, in certain circumstances, provide much better long-term value. But again, not all moratoriums are the same. Different insurers apply them differently. For example, someone with well-controlled high blood pressure may receive a much broader cardiovascular exclusion from one insurer, while another insurer offering a more specific moratorium approach may provide a much better long-term outcome. A good broker understands these differences and recommends the insurer that's most appropriate for your medical history, rather than simply the one offering the lowest premium. We don't compare prices first, we assess suitability first. Only once we've established that switching is appropriate do we compare the market and recommend the insurer and underwriting approach that we believe is most suitable for your individual circumstances. Throughout this guide, I'll explain continuity of cover, moratorium underwriting, claims history, timing, and everything else you need to understand before making a decision. My aim isn't to persuade you to switch, it's to help you understand your options so you can make the decision that's right for you. Whether you've had your policy for 2 years or 30, understanding how switching works could help you protect both your cover and your budget. I'm Aaron, thanks for watching, and remember, clear answers lead to confident choices. I'll see you in the next video.